digress. Here we are. I don't know if you know this man, but if you're from the city of Toronto, I would consider him a legend, a legendary DJ. You could catch him every day on the move, 2 to 7. Well, what station? 93.5?
93.5, yeah.
Yeah, 93.5. Formerly known as Flow, right? You already know there's controversy with that name, but we're not going to touch it too tough. But Mr. Mastermind, DJ Mastermind, I grew up, listened to your music. Mixtapes were relevant at that time for you young folks out there.
Right.
DJs were breaking artists back then. You know what I mean? Like, if you're an artist, you went to a DJ, not what it is now, where you could just upload, do things at your home, like we're doing right now, and just upload it. You know. And
well, times were different too. I mean, artists didn't have the same tools that they have at their fingertips in today, day and age. So, I mean, there were DJs that weren't breaking records, and there was DJs that were breaking records. But again, artists today have, they're way more fortunate and well off in terms of how they can expose themselves and their art and their, whatever they're trying to expose to as many people as possible.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Did you born here? Did you?
Yeah. In Canada?
Yeah.
I was born in Toronto.
Okay.
Mount Sinai.
Alright. East End, West End? Did you grow up in East End or West End?
So, after I was born, I think we lived around the CNE, somewhere on Strawn or something like that, to a very young age. And then we moved to Scarborough, Eglinton, and Midland. Okay. And I lived there till I was about 8, and then moved to North York in the Finch, Leslie area.
Okay.
And that's where I grew up.
Okay. All right, cool. High school?
In the Finch, Leslie area.
Okay. Did you play sports?
Not really, because I got into music at a very young age. And so, I mean,
that consumed your world.
Were you talking about high school sports? Yeah. Or just sports in general?
Yeah, I played sports in general. Yeah.
I mean, we played soccer, league soccer, and played road hockey and stuff like that. But no, by the time I got to be 14, I was already on my way to getting on the radio, and I got my show when I was 15. So, I got some of my best friends would always make fun of me because after school, when they would be heading to the field to do football practice, I'd be walking, the bell had already rung, and I'd be halfway home, and they'd see me with my backpack, and they'd be like, "Oh, Paul, he's going to the radio station, blah, blah, blah." And they knew,
So when you going to the radio station back then, what were you doing?
So the station that I worked at was at York University.
Okay.
Right?
But before you got to York University, I remember I did a little research. And went on your Instagram and seen that you told the story. You guys need to check out his Instagram. When I say the man's legendary, the only person he hasn't met is who?
I would say only.
Well,
but out of the icons, yeah, I never met Pac.
Pac was the only one. The man met everybody. And it's not like he's going searching for them. It's just this is his life journey. Like the music took him that route,
Yeah.
And boom, I'm on your Instagram. I seen that story where you told him how the music got introduced to you in '82, hip hop in particular.
Oh yeah. It was breakdancing outside of So I was downtown for whatever reason. I was a young kid. '82, I was probably 12 or 13 or something like that. And we come outside and there's a group of kids breakdancing, and I saw it and I got mesmerized by it, and the rest is. At that point, that's when you start to go and source it.
Was like a light? It was like a light. Like I needed to get close to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you find a radio show that plays it. You find record stores that sell it. You find other people that love it the same way you do, and you bond and you create friendships through the music. And I was telling somebody that some of my longest life friends. The friendship started because of hip hop. Like you would talk about, did you hear this song? And you don't even know this person, and that's how you guys relate. And then all of a sudden, that bond is built, and then it flourishes from there, right?
So what the man just described is an organic relationship. Nowadays, everybody just follows. It's all about following, and that's why I find even with the industry of just life in North America in general, everything is so like, there's no soul to the approach when we do things.
I think a lot of it is business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's calculated, but in
like we have young millionaires now.
No,
like,
but I'm saying, but like, okay, let's just use Drake for an example, right?
Perfect example.
So the people that he has around him in his inner circle, those relationships were all organic. Mm-hmm. Like when he met Oliver, when he met 40, when he met Boy Wonder, the dudes that he actually keeps real close to him, like Nico and all these guys, those are like high school friends of his.
Yeah, and he don't know. He's a perfect example that he came up with. Like he really came up with those guys,
right? And he keeps those people close to him. Mm. Now, of course, him attaining the success that he has, other people are going to want to become in the circle, and that's where he keeps them at bay, or he has people in place to deal with that. Yeah, and then there's the business side. Yeah. But I think he keeps whoever his real friends are, like they know who they are. But they're kept close, and so on and so forth.
The music built a lot of the relationship you have right now, and which is great. I remember for me personally, like one of my oldest friends, Terrence, went to elementary school with him.
Shout out to Terrence.
Big up to you, you already know Bishop Tutu. But he introduced me to hip hop by way of Special Ed, The Mission.
Okay.
I heard that it was over.
All right, yeah.
I was like, cause I'm like, what? You already know.
That's a great song.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a great song.
That's how I got introduced to it, and I was hooked. But yeah, I see. Did you travel a lot?
More so, well, I did travel. Like a lot of my travels at the beginning were just North America, right? It's only recently that
because I've been talking about it. The ones Egypt and one.
Right. So that's been more recent, right? As my kids have gotten older, and me and the wife have been afforded a little bit of freedom because the kids could take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. It's allowed us to be able to go visit places that.
And they travel with you sometimes.
And sometimes they do. Right?
And I feel like that's important. My daughter's about to graduate high school in a year or two, and I made it clear to her, like, for me personally, I understand, because every day one minute she wants to do makeup, the next minute singing. So I know, like, as a young person, you need to really take your time as far as what you want to do in life, because you really don't want to waste your time. But there's a lot of people going back for second careers now. Yeah. So I actually implore her and encourage her to think about not going to college right away, but travel.
Wow. Listen, there's huge life experiences with that.
Travel,
right?
To me, traveling, the life experience you gain, and just you get to know yourself. I was talking to Jerry about that when he went to Europe. Okay. And he's saying it forced him to come out of his shell. Oh wow! And it forced him to evolve.
You know, the interesting thing when you think about hip hop, it has afforded a lot of people the opportunity to travel. Now you think about artists who, they started in Brooklyn. That's all they knew. And then all of a sudden they become famous, and you go to Japan, you go to Europe, you go to Canada, you go to, all these different continents, you go to Africa, you go all these different places, and it's because of the music. Mm-hmm. The music takes you there, and you get to experience these amazing places, and you get to see amazing people. And so for us, we had kids when we were young, and so we weren't able to travel outside of, tourist, like, you go to Jamaica or the West Indies or whatever. But, we never really got a chance to travel. But now with the kids being older, like I said, it's allowed us a little bit of freedom to, write down the bucket list places and say, we're going to go visit these.